Well, it's been about a year since I put down the super soil. And it's been so bloody hot, it's a wonder anything's alive. But can you see how light the soil is there? The humus that it has been making washed away when somebody let the hose run and started running the water. And the water washed a thin layer of humus away. And I actually have a mushroom in the front yard, which I haven't seen mushrooms in the front yard in like forever, and I mean forever. And look how green this is, even though it only gets watered once a week. I blame that all on the super soil. It's just so green. It still has a few patches of tan soil, so I need to super soil this again. But from what I understand, it never stops growing. So if you put it in one spot, it will eventually cover everything. They don't say how long eventually is, but I have a mushroom. And since it's been a year, I've got a good crop of lemons. They've even been falling off. They haven't gotten very big though. And not that many tangelos for the amount of blossoms that I had. But I don't think that's super soil's fault. I think that is the lack of bees. I have a new avocado tree. A neighbor gave me 2 great big avocado pits, and he wanted me to start them for him, and I did. This one came up fairly fast. The other one is just now coming up. And we have sweet potato vine. And I did put super soil in my compost pile. Sweet potato vine is doing okay since the skunk walked through them and stomped them all down. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. And there's Bouffante. She's molted, so she's lost a lot of her backward feathers. And she's broody, so she doesn't come out. But Bouffante! And I got a pretty good crop of figs, even though I kept the trees small. But the figs have stayed small. I don't know if super soil has anything to do with that. I'm sure I put it in here. Oh, and that's a rat and mouse trap. It doesn't work. Don't waste your money. I've moved it to 5 or 6 different places, used several different baits. You're supposed to line the inside with peanut butter and sunflower seeds. I've done that. Nope. In fact, the little lever now doesn't even sit where it's supposed to. And that's the blueberry. Blueberry. Oh, I see the raccoons were here last night and knocked over all my bottles of water. Yeah, it's hard to save water when you got critters that knock over the jugs. And would you believe my volunteer passion fruit vine that used to grow up into the peach tree? That's why the leaves look so yucky. They got beat to death. The leaves are starting to come out normal now. I did see 1 blossom this spring. No fruit, just 1 blossom. Well, with all the heat, the top ripped off of the greenhouse, but I did buy greenhouse plastic this time. I'm going to wait until it gets closer to rainy season, since I'm really not growing anything in there. And I have a couple of artichoke plants that are coming up. Hooray! They just popped up out of nowhere. I'm going to say that's super soil. Yeah. That's super soil's fault. I'll blame that on super soil. Or give super soil the credit. Well, definitely no avocados. And the heat has been so bad, the poor avocado is now losing most of its leaves. The one out front's doing quite well, but I water it twice a day, 2 gallons each time. Yeah, poor avocado. I think you're done for. Crow, caw birds. And one thing I'm going to be crediting the super soil is the pimento. Look at this. There's 2. Oh, looks like they're ready to be picked. They're starting to crack. And then my few little tomatoes. I picked a whole ton of tomatillos. Made some salsa verde. Oh, it was so good. So it's blooming again. Hopefully I'll get another batch. Oh, that's a nice size one. Yeah, that needs to be picked. And look at this. I'm giving Super Soil credit. Look at the size of these bell peppers. And they need to be picked also. I've already picked one little one. It's not as big as what you'd get in the store. But look at there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've already picked one. I give Super Soil credit for that. And it's just in a little pot. And there is another pepper that I planted the same time as the bell pepper and the pimento. But I don't think I put any Super Soil in that one. And I planted at least a half a dozen purple hull black-eyed peas or pink-eyed peas. And I got 1, 2 plants. Possibly 3. Don't think I'm going to have a bowl of soup out of these. Now, of course, I did plant them quite late. Oh, there's those peppers again. Oh, gorgeous. I did plant a whole package of snow peas, and it looks like maybe 3 came up. Yep, that's my luck. But at least there'll be enough for a dinner if they actually keep growing. And I did not put any fresh Super Soil in there. I'm still getting strawberries. One here and one there. Well, that's kind of a Super Soil update. There's not much I can say. It's been a year. We'll see what happens in a month or so when things start growing again, when it's no longer 1,000,000 degrees. We have some moisture. So that's it.